Good morning and welcome back to the Namaste experience. So good to look out and see all these wonderful, shiny, happy faces and feel the radiance of your heart, your soul, as we wake up, as we open our eyes as if we just woke up from a difficult dream. Anyone have any difficult dreams last night? Good. Well, no, I had one person raise their hand. What? Just this one. Here we are in the difficult dream of Namaste Village. Oh, trust me, they get much more difficult than this. This is the borderland. This is right before we step out of time. And that's why we're here. Are you ready to step out of time? You're ready to step into an experience that has very little to do with the reference points that we put and create here to try and remind us who we think we are, not who we really are, but all the references in time and space that keep telling us the story. This is who you're maybe supposed to be. One day might be. All of these silly ideas that we give so much importance to, all the while the reality that is forever real, the truth that is forever true slips by. And we forget. We fall asleep. We begin to have all sorts of other strange dreams. And yet this is the place and this is the time in which we awaken. We open up our spiritual eyes and we see where we've always been, who we've always been. We've always been heaven and we've always been the holy, perfect child of God. So that's why we're here. We've been putting up this beautiful placard or screen that says, Namaste Satsang, joining in truth. That's what we do. We join in the truth to get it stabilized, to stabilize reality in our conscious mind so that we can just let everything else drop away. Everything that is not love, not God, not now. Ooh, that's interesting. So much of the ego is saying, not now, not now, not only love. We want something other than. And we certainly don't want it all right now. Well, guess what? It's either now or it's never. It's either happening this moment or it ain't happening at all. And that's what the dream is. The dream is the idea or the possibility that there could be another alternative. And usually that alternative that we claim is, well, let's just use a nice word and say challenging. It can be very challenging because we're always competing. We're always trying to get something, get ahead, get above, get beyond, rather than just be anchored in the now. So, I realized something from yesterday's session that I think brings this home for me. And that is that I'm better off when I don't prepare that much. Yeah. So yesterday, I if you remember, I had a lot of words, these graphics and things that I had discovered and people and descriptions and that's all fine. But even in the midst of sharing those things, I could feel as if the information that I wanted to share was somehow eclipsing the energy that could emanate if I got out of the way. If the personality didn't think, well, there's something I need to share with everyone, or there's something new that I've discovered, let's write up a whole bunch of details, let's get it all organized, let's make sure we have everything in the right place. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of us do better when we're organized. I just find that I do better when I'm not. because then I can just step back and wait for the Spirit to enter in. So that's what I'm going to do here today. I found a couple of, just a few sentences from someone that we did mention yesterday, who I know is a great inspiration to many of us, and that's Joel Goldsmith. So Joel Goldsmith, I don't know how much y'all know about him. I think he's from somewhere in the East Coast of the U.S., and he was very active in the 50s and early 60s. So before A Course in Miracles, before the advent of much of this consciousness, the seeds had been planted, and maybe Joel was one of the first sprouts to pop up from the soil of everything that had been happening with unity and science of mind and that great, all of the great information and energy that came from that. So Joel Goldsmith, he was certainly an awakened one. I've never said it that way, an awakened one. It's an interesting way to feel that. One who has awakened an awakened one into the oneness. And Joel certainly was an expression of that. And so everything he shared, and if you've had a chance to read his books or listen to his audios, in fact, listening to his audios is a very cool situation, because he's got a very, he talks like they did back in the 50s. Any of you have grandparents, and they talk kind of like this, and it's not exactly the way that we talk now. And that's kind of how Joel Goldsmith talks, with a very thick accent, and yet, once again, beneath the surface, there is light, there is energy, joy, all of the above. So I was just thumbing through on my Kindle yesterday another Joel Goldsmith book, and I came across something I'd like to share, not to over-prepare, but just to see where this takes us. So, here we go. This is from Joel. We are learning from the physical scientists, and then this is probably him writing in the 50s, so the physical scientists were nowhere near what they are now. We are learning from the physical scientists, as well as from metaphysicians, that what has been termed matter is a misinterpretation of the mind. The mind has misinterpreted what matter is. Mind is the instrument of God. Now, I'm going to stop right there for a moment on that one line. Mind is the instrument of God. But what happens when our minds are cluttered, when our minds are confused, when we have not used our mind in a way that amplifies realities, but instead amplifies illusions? Well, this is why in A Course in Miracles, the workbook is really mind training. That's why the workbook is so important. We were talking yesterday in the Course in Miracles meeting how the first 50 lessons are kind of a suicide note. They're basically telling you that nothing you've ever believed, nothing you've ever seen, or anything means what you think. Nothing I see means anything. It's breaking you down. It's taking you and putting you in the spin cycle of reality so that you can judge everything. So until then, if we look at the mind like an instrument, like this instrument, until we begin this mind training process, our instrument is kind of like this. I'll raise it up. Out of tune. Not exactly that's not what the instrument is. An instrument is just an instrument, but it needs to be tuned, like our minds need to be tuned so that music can emanate. So we begin doing the workbook. Suddenly, as the Holy Spirit begins to rearrange everything that's in our mind, what happens to us? Oh Lord, I am an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, I am your love. Now we sing, but only when we surrender and allow ourselves to be retuned. And that's kind of what we do here every morning, isn't it? It's like entering into an experience of being retuned, tuned back into the harmonic state that allows our hearts to sing in union, in communion with reality, with love. So when Joel says, mind is the instrument of God, we have to surrender our instrument, our very being, to the divine so that we can be tuned through the mind training of Course in Miracles or some other whatever method you choose, to come back into harmony with reality. Joel goes on to say, and God is spirit. Therefore, all that exists is spiritual substance. All that exists is spiritual substance, regardless of the name or nature ascribed to it by finite sense. All that exists is spiritual substance. And if it's not spiritual substance, then what is it? It doesn't exist. Herein lies the peace of God. Just like in the introduction of the Course, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. And when our mind becomes that focused, like a laser beam, and only love is real, love alone. And if it is not in harmony with that, if my instrument is not tuned to that frequency, then it is not, and I don't have to give it any attention. Imagine that for a moment. If we only gave attention to that which was in harmony with love. How many of you can say that you do that in a consistent way? I don't. I'm getting better. I catch myself more, quicker, and I can return. And that's part of the tuning process, isn't it? To notice when we make another choice. To notice when we make the choice of wanting to be right about something. In other words, I want him or her to be wrong because they have a different feeling or a different belief than I do. Suddenly my strings have gone out of tune again. The instrument is strummed and it's not very pleasant. It's not a joyful sound. But once again, I surrender, I allow, I turn myself over to grace, and I'm retuned. I come back into harmony. So that's what we're really doing. I look in the back and I see those words, only love, only God, only now. That is like the tuning fork. Any guitarist knows that before we had electronic tuners that we could clip onto the end of our guitar, what did we use? A tuning fork. You'd hit it on your head or your knee or whatever you did, and you'd put it against the wood, and then the wood would then resonate with that sound. It would amplify, and I could tune the strings to that. So this becomes our tuning fork when we come together in the morning and join in only love, only God, only now. As all of you who live here know, there aren't too many things that we say, you need to be here for this, but this is it. This is the only thing, really. You don't need to go to the Course in Miracles meeting. You don't need to go to all the other wonderful events that take place during the day here, but we do want everyone here because this is how you get retuned. By surrendering to this, only love, only God, only now. And even those who are on Zoom or YouTube, it doesn't matter if they're here live or later, they're being tuned to the sound of the grace that we share. So once again, mind is the instrument of God, and God is spirit. Therefore, bless you, all that exists is spiritual substance. We'll just stop there. All that exists is spiritual substance, period. Just remember that. All that is real is spiritual substance. A bit more. God is the consciousness of you. It says of the individual, but I'm just going to say you, me. God is our consciousness. God is the very whole consciousness within us. Not the split mind. That's the part that just let it slip to the side. You don't need that. You've tried to make the split mind, otherwise known as the ego, work for a very long time, which is basically the statement, what's in it for me? That's the ego's mantra, you know. What's in it for me? The soul's mantra is, I give everything to thee. Not what's in it for me, I give everything to thee, to thee all. In our Course in Miracles meeting, we've been focused on that. Give all to all in order to have all. If you want to have it all, give it all. To hold nothing back. There's the hold back is always the idea that I could give too much. Guess what? No such thing. You can't give too much if you're called to give it all. Well, that feels like I'm going to lose something, right? That's certainly what the split mind believes. Because its laws are based on loss. If I give Ravi $1, guess what I just lost? $1. But if I give Ravi all of my love, if I see Ravi as God sees Ravi, then all of that is mine. It all stays with me. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in loving that we are loved. So once again, God is the consciousness of the individual. Therefore, all that can come to us as person, thing, or condition is coming to us as consciousness, in consciousness, and through consciousness. That's all there is. The extension of the love and the loveliness of God, what Joel is calling consciousness. Consciousness is the soul of every individual. God, principle, is the law of all action. God, spirit, is the substance of all of which we are conscious. All of which we are conscious of when we open our eyes, decide that the dream has never given us what we really want. The drama, the illusion, whatever you want to call it, has never given us what we really want, because what we really want is only love, only God, only now. Can you relate to that? Isn't that what you've always really wanted? Is there anything else? Everything else is just a substitute for that, or just a nice attempt. But we all have now. The reason that you're sitting here now is because you've come to the point of realizing that none of that worked. So it's time now to give all to all, to trust the possibility. If you want to take A Course in Miracles, for example, or Joel or anyone else, to trust the possibility that he knows what he's talking about. That somehow, if we want to read Joel Goldsmith, and I truly believe this, he is someone who is broken through. In fact, this morning, there's been a song in my head. You know, when you wake up in the morning, sometimes you can't get a song out of your head. Well, guess what it was today? Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break on through, people. That's all we're here for. So, I love not preparing, because it reminds me that I'm always prepared. It reminds me that I don't need to depend upon any sort of desire to impress anyone, to teach anyone, to share something of value as opposed to something that has less value. None of that means anything when the only preparation that we really undertake is to give all to all. Just keep giving it away. You're not going to lose. There's no loss in love. There's no loss in love, and if we can remember that and just keep giving love no matter what, it stays right where it's always been, within. By the way, on a funny aside, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the screen, and I see my shirt. I like dogs and music. That's a limiting belief. Oh, hello, Advaita. Welcome back. I like dogs and music, and I love all of you. There's a difference between liking and loving, isn't there? I can like, only certain things, but I can love all. Only love, only God, only now. So, dear Victoria, I'm going to turn it over to you and hear which direction you would like to take us today.
Well, thank you, Brother James. Good morning, everybody. And all I want to say is, Jimmy, we sure love you, and we love you just the way you are. And if you sit up in that chair one morning and you have nothing to say, that's okay too. Because sometimes nothing is exactly the message we need to open ourselves up to just bust out and extend love to you. So I just want to confirm and thank you for being yourself. Because what happens is we really are a family. We're a family. We practice together. We do this every day to tune up. And I am in that note going to read you the line I was trying to read yesterday from Joel, because it says it perfectly. He said, the ascension is always the same. Arising above the mind, above knowing the truth, to truth itself. That's the key. And what I would add to that is the way we rise above the mind, above knowing the truth that we are not our bodies, we're spirit, that seems to be an appearance of density, and spirit is, and the creator is all of spirit. We can know the truth. But to be the truth itself, we have to open the inner gate. And just what you were saying, the way we open the inner gate, bam, is love each other. It's like, you want to open that inner gate, just show up with someone and just shower them with love. Just shower each other with love. That's a song. You remember that? Shower the people you love with love. You want to give us a chorus? Because no matter what dimension we think we're in, the laws of spirit are simple, consistent, and they work in every dimension. And the law of spirit is love. The law of spirit is now, because love, reality, creation is right now. And when we open to one moment of love, and from Course in Miracles and other things, they're not different kinds of love. Romantic love and girlfriend love and boyfriend love, children, parental love. Love is one experience of a total give. That's what love is. It emanates from within, and it just pulls itself out of you. Each one of us is here to love every day. So, and I wanted to say one thing that gets me out of my own mind, and I do with my sister Noreen, because she loves Joel Goldsmith. She just loves Joel, and I do too. I love him. He was from New York, and one of the ways he describes the whole ego world is he calls it the carnal force. He calls the illusion hypnotism. Those are his words that came to him. And they're authentic because they were direct experiences of truth. It wasn't a knowing of truth. That's the difference between Joel, and between us, what we're trying to do, come into that experience of being the truth, being the love. So when we open, the idea of physical reality as a limit is silly. That's all I want to say. That's the difference between knowing the truth and being the truth. When we're in that state and of expansiveness, of spaciousness, of love, giving of itself, and it starts with any seed of love. Love your cat, love your dog, just love. Let it just blossom. Don't put a lid on it. Let it blossom. Because when we love, it is clear that all of the appearances of limitation are foolish. They're silly. They're not worth the effort to address them even. Now that's what Christ's vision is. And we come together to come into that so we get stable in that and live in it. So access, and what we do is we practice this. We tune up every day, okay? Tune into love. Okay, I'm tuned. Thank you, Brother James. Take it away. That's the hook. I feel the hook. I got it.
Is that always your signal when you see
Oh,
my
yes,
face?
that's a good signal.
Well, we want to give our dear Penny honey, and she can take as much time as she wants. There's no limit here. But I do want to say that I like just reducing it all to silliness. You know, it's when you realize it's just silly. All the silly games we play, all the silly beliefs we have, it lightens it up a little bit. Like if it's just silly, just let it go. Let it all go. Just come back to love. So Penny honey, take it from there.
I love it when right before I come up, we're using the word silly. Because I am so comfortable with silly. I love it when Vicki reminds us that God is fun. All right, everybody had a song that dropped in this morning. This is what I woke up with. Rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine. Give God the glory, glory, rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. Yeah, it's just a different rock band than Break On Through, that's all. Mind is the instrument of the divine. You know what I heard? Mine is the instrument of the divine. God's substance, as Eric Butterworth reminded us, everywhere, all the time, at the same time. Ever present, omnipresent, omni, omni, omni. You cannot get beyond the love of God because it is what you are. It is what you are. So come prepared, come unprepared. The point is this: get over here. Just come here to be retuned. Come here and allow the divine to play its song through you. You are the harmony. We are the voice. I cannot think of a time in my 65 years in this form on this planet that harmony has ever been called forward any louder. Bring it. Bring it. Rise and shine. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Isn't it nice to know that failure is impossible? You cannot fail. You can take a long time, but you can't fail. And the clock ran out a long time ago. We're just kind of still on the field. The lights have gone down, it's nighttime, and
Where's the ball?
we can't even find the ball because it's so dark. But guess what? The sun has risen, and now we see. And to that holy vision, we say, Amen, 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 e punto. Namaste, everyone. Sending you love, and we'll see you tomorrow.